Hi, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Malice in the Mitten. I am your host, Tracy Preston, along with my bestie, Christine Mulligan. Hey, Christine.
Hi, Tracy. What's going on? What are we getting into today? What are you telling me about?
Well, today, I am bringing you a story of heartbreak, unanswered questions, and a community that refuses to forget. Now, before we begin, a brief disclaimer. This episode contains discussion of real-life violence, including a fatal hit and run. Names, events, and locations are drawn from publicly available records and media reports. The case discussed remains unsolved, so listener discretion is advised. Every small town has a story that still echoes down its streets. Traverse City, Michigan is known for its cherries, its lake breeze, and a tight-knit downtown. But in the early hours of July 5th, 2013, the quiet streets of Washington Avenue became the scene of a nightmare. A 29-year-old woman named Kelly Boyce-Hurlbert was riding her bike home after work and never made it. She was struck, dragged, and left for dead. The driver vanished. So, let's get into it. This is Season 9, Episode 12, Still Riding for Kelly, the unsolved hit and run of Kelly Boyce-Hurlbert. To understand why this loss cut so deep, you must know who Kelly was. Born in 1984, she grew up here in Michigan. She loved her family, animals, vintage bikes, and music. She worked at North Peak Brewing Company, a bustling downtown brew pub where she was known for her kindness and work ethic. Many said that Kelly just had that kind of energy that would fill a room. She was always looking out for other people. She'd give her jacket to someone walking home if they looked cold. She just cared. It's said that Kelly had this way of making everyone feel welcome. She would light up a room just by being in it. Her coworkers spoke of her warmth and dedication. One said, quote, "Kelly wasn't just a colleague. She was the heart of the team. She looked out for everyone." She met her husband, Paul, just a few years earlier. Together, they built a life filled with laughter, late-night rides, and plans for their future. At approximately 2 a.m., after her shift had ended, the streets were quiet. The fireworks had ended. Most of Traverse City was asleep. Kelly climbed onto her green cruiser and began her ride home along Washington Street. Traverse City, usually quiet at that hour, was still marked by the tail end of holiday weekend activity. Somewhere between Railroad Avenue and Barlow Street, a vehicle came up behind her. Kelly was struck from behind and dragged her and the bicycle for nearly a block. She was found severely injured and rushed to Munson Medical Center, but tragically, she did not survive. Investigators believe it may have been a dark pickup truck or an SUV. The news of Kelly's death shocked Traverse City. The community, particularly those who cycled late at night or worked overnight shifts, felt the impact immediately. Candlelight vigils were held, and the crash site became a quiet memorial. Her family recalled, "There were bikes and candles everywhere. People came together to honor her, but that didn't make it any easier." The driver, whoever they were, left the scene. They did not render aid, did not call 911, and disappeared into the night. That single act transformed a routine ride into a lasting tragedy for Kelly's family and the Traverse City community. The Traverse City Police Department launched an immediate investigation. Detective Matt Richmond described the scene as a priority homicide investigation. They collected everything. They documented tire marks, fragments from Kelly's bicycle, and potential paint transfer from the vehicle. But with few witnesses and limited surveillance, progress was slow. There were no cameras, no clear witnesses. It was in the middle of the night. The news spread fast. Traverse City is a biking town. It's safe and friendly. People were horrified. A candlelit vigil formed near the crash site. Flowers lined the sidewalk. There were candles and bikes everywhere. How could someone just keep driving? Investigators canvassed the neighborhood, hoping someone had seen a vehicle speeding away. Had anyone heard anything? But no one had seen anything, though some reported hearing her screams. They pulled thousands of phone records, approximately, get this, 90,000 numbers from towers near the crash scene, looking for that one anomaly to identify a potential lead. This vast amount of data made the investigation painstakingly complex. It's like searching for a single raindrop in the bay. In the days following, a public appeal was made. The FBI joined the case, offering a reward of $25,000 for information leading to an arrest and conviction. Despite the reward and thousands of tips, no one has been arrested, and the case remains unsolved more than a decade later. For the cycling community, it was personal. Rides were organized in Kelly's name, Ride for Kelly events that are still happening today. Her co-workers described her as the heart of their workplace, cheerful, steady, and always looking out for others.
Okay, can I just jump in here and say real quick, I don't know if it's because you're dragging me through all these crime mystery things or I'm watching way too many movies lately, but the way you're describing her, like how picturesque, perfect she is, that's how we describe a lot of victims, and rightfully so. We want to remember them fondly. I don't mean to get in the weeds about that. What I'm saying is the way my brain is working now is the more you say how great she was and the fact that a decade later we're still, no leads, but we're still, I hate that I'm going to say this, but kind of like utilizing the victimhood of her to raise money for other things. My brain is automatically going through this. Maybe this was somebody that knew her. If there's no other bikers getting run down, maybe this was pointed or, directed at her. Or, unfortunately, maybe this was just like a hit and run from like a drunk driver that doesn't even really remember they hit her and isn't from anywhere in that area. Like a needle in a haystack kind of thing. Are you going to tell me that they find somebody? Like, I don't know. I'm having a hard time. My brain is all over the place with this one. Why?
I know. Well, you brought up an interesting point, actually, Christine. I mean, she was a beautiful young woman, right? She was only 29 years old. So the perspective of maybe it was someone that she, dissed at the brew pub. A drunken, asshole, for lack of a better term. I never even put that together.
Yeah, spiteful.
Right.
The guys that get their feelings hurt and then go and murder a woman because
got shot
down.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you?
I don't know. That's the vibe that I'm getting. Like you're not even really that deep into it, I guess, yet. So I'm sorry for interrupting so prematurely. But I just can't. My brain is like, this was either pointed or the person that did it literally doesn't even remember doing it because they were so inebriated.
Correct. And I know you've never...
That's my vibe.
Yeah. And I think you've told me you've been to Traverse City before. And in the summer, I mean, this place is booming. I mean, you have...
It's bustling. It's full of people.
Yeah. And it's the 4th of July, right? This is 2:00 in the morning on the 5th. But I mean, people are all over that place. I mean, you have Traverse City Bay. I mean, sailing competitions, all kinds of stuff. I mean, this place is hopping. So it literally...
Traverse City Bakery is my favorite place.
Is it bakery or Traverse City Pie Company? I think we talked about that.
Pie Company, I think.
Yeah, I
just
know.
think of it as the bakery.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that before and it didn't strike a chord. And then, of course, afterthought, I'm like, oh my God, it's the Traverse City Pie Company. I know that's what she's talking about. Yeah. Yeah. But I do absolutely appreciate that new perspective. I mean, it's a possibility. I
can't get over it. It's one of the two in my brain.
Yeah.
That's just where I'm at with it. And I haven't even heard the whole thing. But so I'm sorry. I interrupted. Go ahead. Where were you at?
No, that's quite all right. All right. So yet here we are 12 years later and her case remains unsolved. Why? Now, back in 2013, we didn't have all the surveillance technology that we have today. No Ring cameras, no dash cams were common back then. It is believed that the driver might have been visiting a tourist, like we talked about, maybe even someone who left the state. That theory makes sense. The crash happened during the holiday weekend when thousands of visitors flood the city. It could have been a stranger passing through. Or it could have been someone local, someone who panicked, fixed their vehicle quietly, and kept going like nothing happened. And I think about that thought too, like, oh my God, what if you were a local? Because this is blowing up all over the city. Like, how do you live with yourself?
I kind of feel like if they were a local person, they definitely have dipped out by now.
Yeah, I would have hightailed it out of there.
So I don't know. Maybe if it's still a cold case, they should look at the people that have left the area, a year or two afterwards.
Or maybe even immediately afterwards. Like, come on, neighbors, take a good look around. Did anybody just all of a sudden up and move?
Yeah, true story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth looking into.
Yeah. Now, the holiday weekend meant many visitors, as we discussed, expanding the pool of potential suspects and witnesses. Detective Richmond noted, quote, "We've revisited every tip, every lead, and every possible source of information. But without a clear suspect, progress has been slow. The case remains open and it remains a priority. If there is anyone out there that has a tip, no matter how small you think it is, it could be the tip that helps to solve this crime." What is clear is that the driver did not stop. What is clear is that the driver did not stop, and that decision has left a void of justice. Online theories swirl. A drunk driver too afraid to stop. A visitor in a rental truck. A repeat offender who hit before. But speculation cannot replace evidence. Now, the impact on Kelly's family has been profound. Every year, the anniversary of her death is a painful reminder. Each July, her family and friends remember her life with quiet gatherings and memorial rides. These events have become a way for the community to keep her memory alive and maintain hope for answers. And every summer, local news outlets revisit the story. The reward of $25,000 remains in place, yet the silence continues. One family member said, "We just want to know who did this. That's all. Who did this to Kelly?" The community also feels the weight of her absence. Her story serves as a reminder of road safety and the consequences of fleeing the scene of an accident.
Well, does it? Because we haven't given any consequences for fleeing the scene of this accident.
Well, I mean, I guess once you get caught, you're going to have consequences.
Yeah. But it's almost like, I don't know. There's a small part to it. The more they publicize it, the more people that could find themselves in that position, they would think to run. I mean, they would probably get caught, especially nowadays, like you said, with ring cams, dash cams, cams on every pole, on every corner, on every place. You know, we have cameras everywhere now. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
Somebody sees you at every waking moment of your life if you are outside of your home. You're on camera. However, that is kind of the messaging that one could get from listening to stories like that. It's been 10 years. Nobody's seen it. There are no consequences to this, unfortunately. That's the super sad part.
Yeah. Yeah, for whoever this was, they are absolutely free of any consequence. I mean, it makes me think that it's a drunk driver and they, vehicular homicide. I mean, do time for being a drunk driver and pay for taking the life. It wasn't planned. I mean, it was an accident, but, deal with it because now, it's going to be much worse for you.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah. Now, the family has kept Kelly's memory alive, and they do that through social media pages, anniversary gatherings, and the ongoing push for tips. For a small community, that silence has changed people. Neighbors become cautious. Drivers look differently at the road. Justice delayed doesn't just affect a family, it ripples outward. Now, I want to also point out that I believe Kelly was either in the bike lane or on the sidewalk. It wasn't like she was just riding out in the middle of the street. You know what I mean? She was paying attention to and riding her bike where she should have.
Yeah, which if she was in a bike lane, then my brain automatically goes to somebody targeted her.
You never know. You could be right.
I mean, then again, now all of a sudden my brain is curious. Like, what did that stretch of the road look like? Was there a curve anywhere? Was it bone straight? You know what I mean? Because if there was a curve, then drunk driving would be my angle. But if it was bone straight, then targeting is my angle.
Yeah, and I want to say it was straight. And the thing
see how little minor details like that change the whole vibe.
Yeah. And, the other thing I think about, too, is if she was in a bike lane, how big was that bike lane? Because I have bike lanes all over where I live here in DeWitt. Some of them are quite wide, like 3 feet, 4 feet. Some of them are not even anything that should be a bike lane. It's legit the white painted line, and then there's a small bit, and then the curb. Dangerous.
Yeah, that does change it too. Was it like technically in the road, or was it kind of like more like a sidewalk?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, all of those details change the vibe of who could have done it.
Yeah.
But that's why we have detectives, I guess. I mean, we give them crap for when there's cases that they're like, duh. We give them crap. And of course, 2020 hindsight is always the best. However, just those minute details completely change the whole vibe of it.
Right. And yes, we do, jump on some pretty shoddy detective work, but there's also some really amazing detectives out there. So, I mean, you've got lemons in every area of life. Or shoddy.
True story.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah. Now, Kelly's story isn't just about one crash. It's about accountability. Every year, thousands of cyclists and pedestrians are killed in hit and runs nationwide, and many go unsolved. And behind every headline is someone like Kelly, riding home, trusting that the rules of the road will protect them. The biggest message we want to send: don't run. If you hit someone, stop. Call 911. You might save a life. For Traverse City, this case has become a symbol, a reminder that community means stopping, not fleeing. If you know something, anything, any information about the hit and run that killed Kelly Boyce-Hurlbert on July 5th, 2013, you are urged to contact the Traverse City Police Department at 231-995-5170 or submit a tip to your local FBI office. Tips can remain anonymous. You can also email tcpdtips@traversitymi.gov. And don't worry, I'm going to have all of that information in the show notes. Now, even if it's just a small detail, a vehicle seen that night, a repair noticed, or someone remembering a conversation or an overheard confession, these can all provide the breakthrough investigators need and could change everything. All that is needed is for that one person to come forward, for Kelly, for her family, and for the town. Kelly Boyce-Hurlbert was 29 years old. She had a family, friends, and a community that loved her. She was riding home on a summer night when tragedy struck, and though the person responsible has not been found, her story is remembered, and her life continues to inspire efforts for justice. We remember her ride, and we will keep asking the question, who was behind the wheel?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a shame because unfortunately, this will probably remain unsolved unless, our podcast or anybody else still telling her story or those rides that they do ride for Kelly. I'm sure that stirs up local awareness or re-awareness, should I say, of the case. But then when you say bikers get hit that much throughout the area, that's a lot. What are we doing for that? More recent hit and runs, at least they're probably being caught on video now.
I would imagine so, but it's not just Traverse City, it's nationwide. I mean, when I lived in South Florida, a friend of my friend group, her father was hit and killed, hit and run. He was in a wheelchair, and it was New Year's Eve. He was going across the street. So it's an eye-opener. It happens everywhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel horrible, but I'm sticking with either she was targeted or it was a complete drunk driver. And in my mind, they don't even remember doing it.
Probably not, but I'm going to tell you right now, one night I was driving home. I had a black dog, never even saw this damn dog, come running across the street. I hit that dog. I dragged it for a minute, and that dog was howling, and oh my God, it was horrible. It was one of the most horrible experiences I've ever had. I've never hit anything in my life. I got out of the car and I just fell to my knees. I was a hysterical mess. Now the dog got up and ran away, but they dragged this woman for a block. A block.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's insane. You can't tell me you didn't hear her screaming. You didn't feel that?
Well, when you hit the dog, you weren't inebriated.
No, I wasn't.
I'm imagining anybody that hit her and then drags her for that long, if they weren't planning on it, then they were, well above the legal limit. They were inebriated.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Are there any lakes around there? Did they look in the lakes for cars?
Well, I mean, you have...
That's the level of inebriation that would coincide with what I'm imagining.
It's a possibility, right? So, I mean, you have now where Traverse City is and Traverse City Bay, that's, the peninsula is right on the other side of that bay. So I think that's like a 12 or 14 mile peninsula. It's like wine country right there, but that's on the west side of the state. So that's Lake Michigan over there. So who knows? I mean, Michigan is full of deep lakes.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. It said.
Today's story was Still Riding for Kelly. I'm Tracy Preston along with Christine Mulligan, and we thank you for listening. Please stay vigilant, stay compassionate, and never let a hit and run fade into silence. So thank you again, and we will see you all back on Wednesday for Round Robin. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.